Welcome back to Clark and Addison, Born into the Ivy. I'm your host, David Butler, and we are here to talk about those Chicago Cubs. Not the series weekend that we wanted it to be with the Dodgers. Started out great. Friday, the Cubs had to come from behind. Thrilling victory as they extended the winning streak to 10 games. Phenomenal. Ryan Rollison kept the Cubs in the game after JMO struggled early. Where Rollison earned the win as the offense fought back against the Dodger bullpen, and Corbin Martin earned the save. Um, Dansby led the charge offensively with Alex Bregman chipping in with a game-tying home run in the eighth. Dansby hit a two-run triple to get the offense going, and then hit a two-run homer in the top of the ninth to put the Cubs on top. An excellent, awesome, thrilling game, and then the rest of the weekend sucked. I mean, it is what it is. Dansby had back-to-back game winners. Had the walk-off on Thursday at Wrigley against the Phillies, and then that game winner in the top of the ninth Friday. Whew, I'll get it right. The theme of the weekend though was the Dodger starters shutting down the Cubs. I noticed Roki Sasaki struggled some on Saturday, but he did allow 4 runs. But he just looked like he overmatched us quite a bit too, for the most part. And then Colin Ray and Javier Assad, they each allowed 6 earned runs. The total was 12-4. The only pitcher who did anything against the Dodgers on Saturday was Vince Vasquez, who the Cubs then said, "Hey, thank you very much. Great job. Two and a third innings pitch. You're designated for assignment." I kind of understand right now because the bullpen is kind of decimated with injuries. But just like he looked good, and the scary part of that is that maybe somebody will claim him now. Um, I wouldn't say it was like overwhelming. Like I thought Yaxel Rios looked better today than Vince Vasquez did the day before on Saturday. But I don't know. It's still a guy that I think we want to maybe keep in the system if we can. And I'm sure that that's their preference, but they needed because he wasn't going to be able to pitch today. Yaxel Rios did go 1 2/3 innings today. Looked really solid to me. Again, I hope that that's a guy they keep in the bullpen for now with all the injuries. I think part of that will also depend on how quickly um, some guys come back. So speaking of that, oh no, I'm getting ahead of myself. So we'll come back to that. Shota did struggle today. Allowed 5 runs, but the offense didn't do jack. There was 4 hits, 6 walks. They left 12 on base. Just pitiful. They were 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Just not a good day offensively. It was probably the worst that they've had since the Pittsburgh series. Um, that Met game that they kind of stole in 1-2-1 was not a good offensive game either, but this one was worse for sure. So, but like I said, speaking of, we'll get into the injuries. This is all via MLB.com. Phil Maton is expected to rejoin the Cubs in the San Diego series at some point. I'm kind of inclined to think maybe tomorrow, but maybe not until Tuesday. I'm not sure. They didn't specifically say. He did throw 25 pitches and in a 1 inning rehab outing with Iowa on Friday, and that went well. So Jordan Wicks also threw 43 pitches and 2 2/3, allowing 0 runs in a second rehab outing with Iowa on Thursday. He's expected back in late April or early May. Whether or not he comes to the big league club or goes down, I think will depend on how quickly some of these other guys come back. Um, I don't think that Javier Assad is meant for the bullpen. Um, and he kind of showed that the other day. He definitely struggled like big time on Saturday, and I don't think it was just that the Dodgers were overmatching him. I don't think he was comfortable in that role by any means. And I'm not saying he should be a starter for the Cubs right now. I'm just saying I would much rather see Jordan Wicks in that spot than Javier Assad. Maybe I'm in the minority on that, but that would be my preference if we had to have one or the other. Daniel Palencia went on the IL Friday the 17th. He had a light bullpen session on Saturday. The next step will be a higher intensity workout on Tuesday in San Diego. Sometime in May is the new target for him. Hopefully early May, but I don't think that they're showing their hand on that. So Riley Martin, unfortunately, went on the IL today, retroactive to Friday, with left elbow inflammation. Not generally a good sign. He felt discomfort after his outing on Thursday when he came in for Caleb Thielbar, who also went on the IL. And he has not recovered from that. He is going back to Chicago for more testing. Again, not a good sign. Which really sucks because the kid he's been really good and solid, and it looked like he was really kind of taking that step, and that's devastating for him and for this club. So, Caleb Thibar, we all know went on the IL Friday. We knew that was going to happen. He had a hamstring injury. They're hopeful that it'll be a minimal stay on the IL, which is for the 15 days, but they were hopeful for that with Palencia, and we all saw how that went, or are seeing how that is going now. So I don't think the Palencia is going to be out a ton more than that, but he is eligible, or should be, after, like, on the 29th to 30th. So after this series, really. So we'll see. Hunter Harvey has resumed throwing, but still has several things to work through before they even can think about a rehab start or rehab appearance. So, and then last but not least, Ethan Roberts had a rehab appearance on Sunday that went well, through 23 pitches in 1 inning. He is expected to make at least one more rehab appearance before anything is decided. So, that's a whole lot of injuries, and we didn't even talk about Jackson Wiggins, who is now throwing on the minor league IL, the number one prospect. So, just crazy, crazy, crazy. The depth on the pitching staff is really being tested right now. We knew that was going to be, and it will continue to be. Phil Maton coming back is great news and will be huge for the team, but we need more. He will become the immediate closer, I'm sure, which puts Corbin Martin back in a role that I think we're a little more comfortable with, because it seemed like he might be the de facto closer. But it's still not like a great spot. And it's not great for Corbin, like, to kind of get his feet wet and get going again in the majors and get his footing. So we'll see how it goes. Much needed. Ben Brown is more than rested at this point, so that's a good thing because he's looked really good. I really wish, at least for the time being, while we're not sure what else is going on, that they would just use him for 1 inning, because he's going to be needed more than once every 3 to 4 days. That's just the facts of the situation, and they need to adjust that and at least consider that as the possibility. So, the Philadelphia Phillies preview. Monday and Tuesday games will be at 9:40 Eastern time, and on Wednesday it will be a 4:10 start time. So Monday will left-handed pitcher. Matthew Boyd will be facing right-handed pitcher Randy Vasquez. I meant to have this up. I apologize, I didn't. Vasquez, I believe, has had some good starts this season. My bad. I'm sorry I didn't have it ready. Yeah, he's got a 1.88 ERA, 30 strikeouts so far this season, and 28 and 2/3. He's 2-0 in his 5 starts. The dude has looked really, really good. So, definitely got our work cut out for him. Matthew Boyd looked solid in his start the other day, in his first start back. Nobody has like exceptional numbers against him, at least with a ton of at bats. So hopefully this will be good. Pete does have some decent numbers against Vasquez, hitting 400 in his early, I think he's 2 for 5. So like a very, very small sample size. But Pete hit 286 this past week, which is not anything like to chalk it up to. But he looked really, really bad Saturday night. Outside of that, he didn't have a great series, but he had a solid defensive series, especially Sunday. Um, and got a hit against the lefty today. So that's always a good thing. But man, he really looked overmatched yesterday, big time, and that's concerning. But it was a power arm with Roki. So um, I I'm not worried about Pete, but I was worried Saturday. Like he did not look good at all. But sometimes those things just happen. On Tuesday, we've got Edward Cabrera versus right-hander Walker Buehler. Walker has not looked great at this point, and so that hopefully gives us a little bit of hope. But Roki Sasaki had not looked great either, so take that for what it is. In 5 starts, he's 1-2, 5.75 ERA. But maybe he got it. I'm not sure if he had like just a terrible outing. I don't think so. Like Walker hasn't looked great overall anyway. So, and then on Wednesday we got Jamison Tyone against right-hander Matt Waldron. Matt Waldron in 2 starts, 8 2/3 innings, has a 12.46 ERA. Like this is a guy that we should be able to blow up. He doesn't have great career statistics or anything like that either. So two guys in the latter part of the series. This first game is going to be huge for the Cubs. If Matthew Boyd can match Randy Vasquez and the offense can somehow get to him and or get to the bullpen in a close or tied game and not get to Mason Miller, then I think that that's a good sign. The Padres have a really good bullpen, so if there's any kind of lead, that's probably not a good thing. Yeah, as they get to him. But there's a true good opportunity in games 2 and 3, especially in games 2. The matchup, Edward Cabrera is much better over Walker Buehler, but I like Jamison Tyone over Matt Waldron. Um, I think that those matchups favor the Cubs much more than maybe Mondays. Not that Boyd isn't in a good spot and I don't trust him. I just think that the matchups are bad on the other side for the Cubs. They're good for the Cubs, bad pitcher for the Padres. So I still think that we have a good chance of taking it 3-3. I'll be ecstatic with that after going 1-2 against the Dodgers. The Padres come into the series with a half-game lead behind the Dodgers, and the Cubs a full game behind the Reds. Both teams in second place. Both they have had a very good start to the season and have played much better since early April. Again, both teams. The Cubs' offense has been really good, ranked fourth in the majors, averaging 5.32 runs per game, while the Padres are ranked 14th with 4.56 runs per game. The Padres' ERA is 12th in the majors this year with a 3.96. The Cubs are 10th with a 3.89. Both teams have a much worse ERA on the road, though. I say that, and I think that matters some, but I also think that the Padres' home field tends to favor pitching, which will help guys like JMO because it's a bigger field and then whatnot. So, our players of the week this week. Oh,
Go Cubs, go!
My bad. Here we go.
Go Cubs, go!
Our players of the week. Offensively, I've got Dansby Swanson and Seiya Suzuki. I know that there's some other guys who had overall better stats, like Michael Bush than Dansby this week, but Dansby had the game winner on Saturday or Friday night, and he had the his first walk off of his Cubs tenure on Thursday, and so I'm going to give him that. But Seiya Suzuki, 4 home runs, 6 RBIs, hitting 476 for the week. While Dansby had 2 home runs, 9 RBIs, and 3 more runs, with hitting 238. Michael Bush probably deserved to be one of the players of the week as well, hitting 321, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs with 4 runs scored. Um, so I kind of named him, but didn't. Our pitcher of the week. So I really struggled with the pitching off both relief pitching and starting pitching. Nothing really popped out. The biggest thing that popped out was Corbin Martin, 3 games, 3 innings, and 0 ERA. Had 1 save. Just really solid when he was needed. Nobody else really popped out and said, "Hey, I'm the best one." Same with the starters. Matthew Boyd, I'm going to give it to him. Solid start. None of the starters were stellar this week, but they were solid. And the Cubs had a 10-game winning streak, so there's credence to that. But you'd like to see one of these starters just kind of really shut it down going forward. So I guess Shota did have a really good start, but today kind of blew that up too. You know what I mean? So that's why I didn't go with Shota overall and do that. So because it just wasn't the best start today. So thank you very much. Everybody have a great day and let's go Cubs.
Go Cubs go.
Get this road trip back even at 3-3. Thank you guys. We'll see you Thursday.